Let us today revise the first scene of Tennessee Williams's A Streetcar Named Desire. We have to remember that if we take into consideration the modern playwriters of the 20th century in United States of America, then the three pillars that come to our mind are Arthur Miller, Tennessee Williams, and Eugene O'Neill. Our concern is about the central pillar, Tennessee Williams, and the topic of discussion will be A Streetcar Named Desire. Now, what did we see in the first scene? We saw a character named Blanche Dubois. Remember, Blanche is the American pronunciation, and the French pronunciation is Blanche, which means white. White can either stand for the symbol of innocence, but in the American context, we must also remember that whiteness also stands for white supremacist ideology. Dubois, very interestingly, in French means from the forest. Now, which forest is she coming from? When we read the first scene of the play, we come to realize that this character named Blanche Dubois has lost her property named Belle Rêve. Very interestingly, Belle Rêve means good dreams or sweet dreams. It refers to her palatial manorial place, and it shows that she used to live very lavishly and she belonged to the aristocratic class. When she comes down to her sister's place, her sister is named Stella Kowalski. She has taken the surname of her husband, Stanley Kowalski, who belongs to a working class background. The apartment to which Blanche Dubois comes is known as Elysian Fields. Elysian Fields stands for the Elysium of Greek mythology, which stands for a resting place of the brave souls. Isn't this very symbolical? Which car does Blanche Dubois take to come to Elysian Fields? She takes two cars, namely streetcars, and streetcars can be popularly visualized as the Caucasian's tram. Now, this streetcar, rather two streetcars, are named Desire and Cemeteries. Very interestingly, Desire seems to connote the Freudian eros or the life drive, and Cemeteries connotes the Freudian thanatos or the death drive. In this way, we also saw that in the first scene, the characters resemble Freudian analogies. Remember that it was Sigmund Freud who, in his seminal book, The Unconscious, had theorized that the human psyche is structured like that of an iceberg, where only 10% is visible and the rest is beneath the surface, namely the subconscious or the preconscious, and majority of it lies in the unconscious. So, we have to deal with this cosmopolitan place named New Orleans, where Blanche Dubois comes from Laurel. It is that particular place named Belle Rêve, which she has lost in Laurel. And the scene starts with a discussion of a of an African American woman along with Eunice, who is the owner of the flat, and also some local vendors. So it's a very cosmopolitan setting. And when Blanche Dubois comes, immediately we see that there is a kind of a class conflict. And this class conflict will be seen throughout the particular play, A Streetcar Named Desire. What do we refer to as class? If we refer to the definition by Karl Marx, then we will see Karl Marx says that a class is your relationship to the means of production, whether you are the owner of the means of production or whether you are a worker in that means of production. We see that the character of Blanche Dubois has lost her ownership at Belle Rêve, and now she has come to stay in the house of Stanley Kowalski, who is a worker, and we will see this class conflict. But it is important to notice these particular elements in the very first scene of the play.